no matter what women say, they live to be objectified.
I don't want to fuck your degree.
What else can you offer me besides sex?
I don't want to fuck your personality either. Women want all the accolades of being the boss without any of the responsibilities.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 396th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. It is Monday, January 21st, 2019, and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Guys, very, very important day for men like myself who probably wouldn't have had the opportunities I've been fortunate enough to have had. I've been fortunate enough to have been presented with throughout my life, and I've never taken what men like Martin Luther King Jr., Medgar Evers, what those guys, never ever take what those guys have done for granted. It is never ever lost on me just how fortunate I am to be where I am today, and Martin Luther King Jr. Has a lot to do with that. So happy MLK Day, guys. I hope you guys are all having a very good Monday. We are multicasting live to 3 YouTube channels, 3 Facebook pages, as well as Twitter. And let's hope that the internet remains stable. Had Xfinity out here twice. Didn't fix the problem on Thursday. Came out and tried to fix it on Saturday. It appears that everything is good to go. We'll see. Worst case scenario, if my feed does start to get a little bit ratty, if things start to buffer again, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the show because I have it recording here on OBS. And when the internet buffers, when I have streaming issues, it doesn't reflect on my OBS recordings. It certainly reflects on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook where we are broadcasting to. But when you replay, when you play back, if you're a patron of mine and you go back and listen to the replay, you watch the replay or you listen to the audio replay, none of that is present. So at the very least, at least you know that the recording will be good. It appears that things right now are stable. I don't take anything for granted at this point, but hopefully, I can get through today's stream and all of my subsequent streams without any more internet issues. I pay enough for my internet service. Let's hope that it holds up. Okay, let's get to it, guys. I've had a lot of sales jobs in my life. I've sold everything from vacations. I've sold cell phones. I've sold, foreclosure listings. I've sold furniture. I've sold magazine ads. I've sold cruises and so on and so forth. You name it, I have sold it. Well, much like most lifelong salesmen, I've had a few stints selling cars, automobiles. Now, I've worked for a few high-end car lots where the majority of the inventory, of course, is brand new cars, and most of the customers have the credit to buy them. Good credit. I sold Audis at the tender age of 19 during the summer, after my sophomore year in college. I sold Dodges for a year in my early 20s. I actually sold a Viper my 3rd month at Dodge and made an $8,000 commission. That was unbelievable. Anyway, I've also sold used cars on multiple occasions. Now, selling used cars is an entirely different game, guys. There are different concerns when you sell used cars. Customers who go to high-end car lots, those customers they have concerns like paying too much, right? Customers who come to a used car lot, those customers are concerned with the car breaking down a mile down the road, buying a lemon, etc., etc. Now, high-end car lot customers, they ain't worried about the reliability of the cars. It's brand new. It's not going to give you any trouble. They're concerned with the interest rate. They're concerned with getting price gouged. They're concerned with getting hosed. Used car customers aren't worried, or used car customers rather, they're worried about the car breaking down and credit. If people had good credit, they would go to high-end car dealerships if they didn't have the cash to buy a car outright. But if they don't have enough to get the title, they don't have enough to just buy a car outright, and they have bad credit, they have to go to a used car lot where the credit standards are a little bit more relaxed. Sometimes you have car lots that finance you regardless of credit because they put a GPS on your car, then they jack up the interest rate. These are your buy here, pay here lots. Anyway, something that happened to me twice when I sold used cars is I'd have a customer come in and they would tell me, Donovan, I have bad credit, but I need a car. Right? So, of course, I'm giving them all the lines. Hey, don't worry. We got you covered. We're going to find a bank to finance you. We're going to put you in a car today. If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to work through my lunch break. I'm going to work through my dinner break to put you behind the wheel of a brand new car. So they're all excited because they're going to get a new car, right? So I'd run their credit. And again, this happened to me twice before I actually caught on. But I'd run their credit, and their FICO score would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 650, which isn't the best credit score, but it's not terrible. More importantly, it's the kind of score that would allow a customer to go to a high-end car lot and finance a brand new car. So I tell the customer, hey, good news. Your credit is actually pretty good. You're going to be able to finance any car you want on the lot. Now, the first time I told the customer that they had better credit than they thought, they were ecstatic. They got excited. They started looking at cars and everything, but I didn't make the sale, and I had no idea why. And I remember thinking to myself the first time that happened, that guy had decent credit. He didn't think he'd get approved for financing, so why didn't he buy a car? The second time it happened to me, it was the same thing. Donovan, I have bad credit, but I really need a car. I run the guy's credit score, and once again, he's in the mid-600s. Again, the kind of score that could get a customer financed at a high-end car lot for a brand new car. So again, I tell the guy, hey, good news. You've got pretty good credit. But this time, the guy's wife said to him right in front of me, well, why don't we just go to Toyota then? Now, I was quick on my feet, and I said, well, because they're going to charge you a higher interest rate, which means a higher car payment. And the guy starts nodding, right? He's like, yeah, we don't want a high car payment. But I could see in his face, he was full of shit. And I was right, because they told me that they'd have to go home and think about it, and I never saw him again. What those two experiences taught me was that if a person thought they had bad credit, let them continue to think that even if they do not. Now, obviously, you can't get away with that these days because people can get their credit scores on their phones in 15 seconds. But back then, it wasn't like that. Customers had to take the word of the salesman that they were approved or that they weren't. But from then on, if a customer came in and told me that they had bad credit, I would continue to make them think that they had bad credit, even if I found out their FICO score was 680. Because the minute a customer knows that they have more car buying options, they will never buy from you. They couldn't give less of a shit if their interest rate is 6 points higher at a high-end car lot. They couldn't give less of a shit if they're making a much higher car payment as a result of that high interest rate. No. They're getting a brand new car when less than 24 hours ago, they weren't sure they could buy a used junk bucket. Women, gentlemen, are exactly the same as car customers. A woman's value is dictated solely by the way men respond to and treat them. If most men a woman interacts with treat her favorably, meaning they give her compliments, they're nice to her, they do favors for her, they look at her, they give her attention, they make it clear through their actions that they would commit to her, then she knows she's got options, or good credit, as it were. Well, the less credit or value a woman has in the way of looks, personality, and overall femininity, the more she will have to compromise when it comes to men. Hot girls get to fuck, date, and marry the best guys out there. They get to be with the best looking, the richest, the most talented, highest value men out there. Not so attractive women get the leftovers, or in other words, the used cars of the dating world. And they're generally okay with this because they know that they don't have as much value to men as the higher value girls or the girls with better credit. Yeah, they'll bitch and moan about it on social media, right? We see it all the time. They'll talk shit about how men are shallow and only care about looks and about how men should compromise their standards to appease fat, ugly women. But they know the score. They really do know how the world works. Anyway, to bring it back around here, a huge mistake that guys are making with their women is the same mistake I was making with customers who had better credit than they thought. The same mistake that thirsty niggas make when gassing up fat, ugly bitches. And that is showering their women with compliments and approval. Telling her she's beautiful all the time. Telling her how much he loves her every day. Constantly telling her how smart she is. How great she is. And the same thing that happened to me on that used car lot is going to happen to them in their relationships. And here's how, guys. Here's how. At some point, if a girl hears all of these glowing remarks about herself, if she hears this stuff long enough, eventually she's going to subconsciously think to herself, you know, I think I can do better. If I can impress Steve this much, then I can easily get with Kevin, the hot sales guy at work. I mean, I always knew I was a catch, of course. But I mean, maybe I've been selling myself short and settling for less than I deserve. You know what? I think I'm going to go explore my options and see what else is out there for me. And I'm going to start with Kevin in sales. And while I'm at it, I might even swing by Dave's band practice to see if he's interested. This is what happens when you blow sunshine up your woman's ass too much. She starts to believe all of your hyperbolic narrative about her. She hears and sees it so much that she internalizes it, and ultimately she truly believes it. Let me ask you this, guys. Ever seen a 5 who acts like a 10, and you think to yourself, why does she act like she's hot? She's got hair on her second chin and a lazy eye. Who the fuck does she think she is, walking around like she's a 10? Well, she's got a boyfriend who showers her with love and attention and validation and compliments 24/7, like all the Facebook memes tell him to do, in order to keep her happy and have a great relationship. But he's doing the opposite. He's filling her head so full of shit that she really does believe that she's hot shit who can have any guy she wants. And it won't be long until she steps out on him. Now, let's be clear here, guys. Nobody's suggesting that you never compliment your woman, right? Listen, women need validation. They need approval. They need to know when they're doing it right. And if you withhold your praise when she clearly deserves it, she's only going to tolerate that for so long, guys, especially pretty girls. Don't get it twisted. A girl needs to know that her man is pleased with her, and if she deserves it. You are the judge of that, not her. She wants your approval, not her own. She can talk all the shit she wants about what a great catch she is. Right? She can see all the 150 thirsty dudes agree with her, but none of that, all of that means dick to her. Doesn't mean shit. What she wants and needs is your approval. She needs validation from you. But by the same token, you have to be fair, guys. Don't be unreasonable. If she looks good, tell her she looks good every once in a while. If you're appreciative of what she does for you, let her know every so often. But giving her residual approval for something she does one time is counterproductive. Telling your woman she's hot every day because she dressed up 3 months ago, that's not helping either one of you guys. Telling her she's an unbelievable cook because she made you a 3-course meal a full year and a half ago, it's going to make her lazy. She's going to stop trying because you're giving her validation without her earning it again. You're giving her attention that she doesn't deserve. And at some point, human nature is going to kick in, and she's going to put in less and less effort for something she knows she can get for free, which is why she doesn't make an effort to look good for you anymore and laughs when you ask her what she's making for dinner tonight. If your woman has a disrespectful tone with you, you look her in the eye and say, watch your fucking tone. If your woman makes you a kick-ass steak dinner, say, God damn, you rock this steak tonight. Then smack her in the ass. You must reward the good and punish the bad at all times, which is what we're discussing tonight. But most importantly, do not shower her with compliments for mediocre effort. Guys, don't do it. If she does something she's supposed to be doing anyway, every once in a while, show her a little appreciation, but don't make a big fucking production out of it. You don't need your woman expecting you to sing her praises for remembering to stop and grab some bottled water. Listen, man, acknowledge it. Every so often, just say, hey, you know what? Thanks. I appreciate it. And leave it at that. Gentlemen, do not tell your woman that she has awesome credit if she's giving 570 FICO score effort. Fuck that. If she's acting right, let her know. If she gets out of line, put her ass back in line. Don't tell her she's the greatest fucking woman who ever graced the face of the earth all day, every day, because at some point, she will go to that Toyota dealership. So at this point, we all know that correcting bad behavior can be very difficult, and that complimenting your woman too much will cause her to become complacent, which means she will stop trying to earn your time, attention, and affection. So now that we've laid our foundation, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes here and talk about how to and when to reward your woman. Punish and reward your woman. My opening rant is brought to you by Tactical Soap. Tactical Soap is a natural pheromone soap that enhances alpha status, masculinity, attractiveness, and charisma. Tactical Soaps are formulated with bio-identical pheromone blends designed to enhance the alpha male attitudes that women love and men respect. You can buy Tactical Soap through my affiliate link on donovansharpe.com, and be sure to use the promo code Donovan to get an additional 10% off. If you have a question or comment about how and when to reward and or punish your woman, give me a call. 914-205-5356 is the number to call. I see you in Vegas. I see you on the line. I'm going to get to you in just a second. If you have an unrelated question about girls, game, finance, fitness, or anything else that pertains to increasing your value as a man, book a one-on-one consultation on donovansharpe.com/consults. That's an S, plural, consults. Follow, add, and like me on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Donovan Sharpe on either platform. If you want access to all of my content, go to patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. There you will find the entire archive of all complete episodes of TSR Live, both audio and video, so you can listen on the go or watch at your leisure. You can watch my show Monday through Thursday afternoons at 5 Eastern, but if you want to be able to rewatch or re-listen to the episodes in their entirety, less than 17 cents a day is all that it takes. So I'm hearing, okay, we got some crackling, so I'm going to kill Blog Talk Radio because that's probably where it's coming from. How's that, guys? Is that better? Yep. Let me know. I just killed Blog Talk Radio. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Blog Talk Radio is hit or miss. Sometimes, and see in Vegas, if you're listening, I'll probably open up the phone lines in about another 10 or 15 minutes. So stay with me. Gentlemen, we all know that I could be shut down and deplatformed at any time. Last year alone, I lost 2 YouTube channels, a Facebook page, and a Twitter account, and I would not be surprised if I lost my Patreon at some point in the not-too-distant future. I'm not kidding. Now, none of that is going to stop me from doing what I do, guys. Listen, this train is going to stay on the tracks regardless, but it could stop you from getting access to my content. The only way to ensure that you never miss out on my content is to subscribe to my email list. Go to donovansharpe.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, plug in your email, and you are good to go. Takes literally 1.7842 seconds. I timed it myself. So if anyone snaps their fingers and I get banned everywhere, you will always know when and where to find me. If you like what you hear, guys, if you get something out of my show and you want to contribute, you can do that through my Streamlabs link. I'm putting it in the chat now. Thank you, Devin. www.streamlabs.com/DonovanSharpe1. That is www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe and the number 1. YouTube wisely takes 30% off the top in terms of super chats. And I've always maintained that I would take more than 30%. If I were YouTube, I'd probably take 45% of the super chats. But I'm not YouTube, and I'm not giving them 30% of my contributions. So if you want 100% of your contributions to come right to the show, you can contribute at www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe and the number 1. All right, let's take a scroll through the chats here. See how you guys are living. It is good to be in here on a Monday. And, okay, good. It looks like my internet connection is stable for the time being. And, again, guys, I do apologize. And listen, I'm not one to apologize for shit that's outside of my control. The internet being slow was certainly not my fault, but you guys are my audience. And I hated that I was dropping really, really good content, and it was interrupted by bad internet. I actually tried to do another show on Friday. Like, they came out on Friday morning, and they fixed my internet, and I said, all right, cool, my internet's fixed. Let's do a random Friday show. Didn't work either. So we had them come out on Saturday, and that seems to have done the trick. So let's hope that the problem has been solved from here on out. Let's scroll to the top. Hellfighter pops the cherry. Big Wute Samaj in the house. After a good long while. Gets the sloppy seconds. Anthony Wright gets to fuck her in the ass. Miami J. LatinoManosphere.com gets to finish on her face. And Smart from Austin, Texas gets to get it all on film. Camera. Smart RN1 says, judge a man not by the color of his skin, but how much he helps his fellow brothers. Donovan, you're a man. I appreciate it. Dr. Martin Luther King would be very disappointed in the black community if he were alive today. Straight up. Straight up. Listen, I don't think I'm breaking any news there. I'm not making any, this is not a hot take. This is a fact. The kind of shit that's going on in the black community, MLK be like, dude, what the fuck? San Antonio's in the house. AJRX asks the $64,000 question. Will it work today? Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Already got 100 people watching. That number will jump substantially when I shrink the audience here. AJRX says, yo, Donovan, we got love for Martin, but sometimes we got to go straight Malcolm on these disrespectful hoes out here. Yeah. Listen, be like Martin Luther King Jr. with your fellow man. But when it comes to these bitches out here, oh, no. Straight Malcolm X. Go straight Louis Farrakhan on these bitches. Straight up. Straight up. Freelance Ronin. Also sold used cars. Very, very good. Mr. E, 1976. Fazel Ali says hypergamy analogy. Okay, I don't know what that is. Miami J says, moral of the story, never tell your woman everything she's doing right. Shout out to the Book of Alpharonomy. That's actually a pretty cool name, the Book of Alpharonomy. I think isn't that sort of like a Deuteronomy thing? I think that's pretty cool. Kevin and Sales gets ass as always, of course. Truth from Troy making an appearance. Been a while since I've seen you in here. Book of Alpharonomy says, leave gassing these broads up to service station attendants. Truer words never spoken. Very good. Stephen Buckner, good to see you in here. All right, excellent. Stable connection so far. I've actually got the screen pushed off to the side, and I got my... Listen, I normally have the little green box on OBS covered up. It's a little square, and the color, I don't pay any attention to the kilobytes per second. I don't care about that. What I'm looking at is the green. As long as that stays green, my feed is solid. But if it starts to turn red, orange, yellow, that's when things tend to go sideways. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to forego the phone calls for now. I did not restart my computer before the show. And I think that when I don't restart my computer, that's when I am much more susceptible to the static from Blog Talk Radio. So At least that's my hypothesis. Anyway. Speaking of which, I do need to call up Xfinity because I'm looking to beef up. Like, I want to have their fastest internet all the time. I don't care what I have to pay. I want the fastest ever. I mean, I can afford it. I don't care. I will fucking take it. I will pay that shit. I do not give a shit. Mr. Jackson is in the house. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Not to turn this into a sports talk radio show, but this needs to be said. Listen, guys. Win or lose in the Super Bowl, Brady's the greatest. Brady is so the greatest. Listen, man. I know we all hate Tom Brady, and we don't really hate Tom Brady. We're envious of him. He's the greatest quarterback ever. He's married to a supermodel. He lives in a castle surrounded by a moat. His supermodel wife is worth even more than he is. He's got 5 Super Bowl rings, maybe even 6. Brady is the GOAT. And again, I want you guys to understand this. And I don't want to get off too much on a tangent here. And it's good that I don't have anybody on the phone lines because that's when I tend to get off on tangents. But consider this, guys. Tom Brady has been in the league now for 18 years. He actually missed a year. He missed 2008 after Bernard Pollard from the Kansas City Chiefs, incidentally enough, hit Brady low, tore his ACL. So Brady missed the entire 2008 season. So in 16 seasons as a starter, Brady is going to make an appearance in his 9th Super Bowl. Brady has won 5 Super Bowls. He is going to his 9th Super Bowl. Dude, there are Hall of Fame quarterbacks that don't have 5 playoff wins. I mean, guys, again, I don't want to get off too much on a tangent here. But what we are watching, the Belichick Brady thing, we're never going to see this again. Like Belichick and Brady, this is something that will never be matched again. And listen, it's my assertion, they are going to have to change the name of the Vince Lombardi Trophy at some point to the Bill Belichick Trophy. They're going to have to do it. Dude, Brady and Belichick are going to have to get their names on something. They have to. Right now, the NFC Championship Trophy, that is the George Halas Trophy. The AFC Trophy, that's the Lamar Hunt Trophy. The Super Bowl Trophy is the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Dude, both of those guys got to get their names on there somewhere. I mean, it's just... listen, I don't have any other explanation. Brady is great. Brady's great. The Kansas City Chiefs they were so much more talented than the Patriots. Here's how talented the Chiefs are. The Patriots dominated that game from start to finish. Doubled them in first downs. The statistics were lopsided in favor of New England, and it still took them overtime to beat the Chiefs. Brady's the greatest, man. Brady is absolutely the greatest. Bill Belichick is the greatest NFL head coach of all time. It's not close. Listen, win, lose, or draw. Well, he's 5-4 in Super Bowls. Think about, even if he loses the Super Bowl, well, Brady is 5-4 in Super Bowls, so think about what you just said. 5-4 in Super Bowls. Brady has a winning percentage in Super Bowls. Like every other year, he's in the Super Bowl. Debate is over. It's over with. All right. So, at this point, getting things started here, we all know that correcting bad behavior can be very difficult. Number one, and we know that complimenting your woman too much will cause her to become complacent, which means she'll stop trying to earn your time, earn your attention, and earn your affection. So now that we've laid our foundation, let's get into the meat and potatoes and discuss how and when to reward and punish your woman. Now, the first thing we need to understand here is that A, correcting bad behavior is not easy, and B, rewarding your woman is almost too easy to overdo. You need to keep these things in mind when dealing with your woman in terms of getting the best out of her, which begins and ends with reducing her bad behavior while increasing her good behavior, which requires rewarding the good and punishing the bad, of course. The second thing you need to keep in mind, and guys, this is probably the most important thing you will ever hear when it comes to dealing with women, with your women. And I'm not exaggerating here, okay? Because knowing and abiding by this rule will literally be the difference between your successes and your failures with women. And I'm going to tell you what that is after the break. We'll be right back.
TSR Live is brought to you by Good Vibes CBD Oil. Good Vibes reduces stress, anxiety, and mellows you out. Use it right before bed to get the best night's sleep you've ever had. Buy Good Vibes CBD Oil through Donovan's affiliate link on DonovanSharpe.com. Use promo code Donovan15 to get 15% off.
Always trying to say I shouldn't be with that chick. The real reason why is cause you want that bitch, but you ain't never been her type. Said you always want to hate, guess I'm doing something right. You're telling me I broke, dude, what's new? Having money never gonna lay you on top of that. All these gold
Welcome back to the 396th edition of TSR Live on a Monday. Good to have you guys in tonight. Be sure to subscribe to my weekly newsletter to stay in the know in the event that I get deplatformed here or anywhere else. If you want to make a contribution to the show, you can do so at www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe and the number 1. I'm putting that in the chat right now. Not going to take phone calls because of the static. And I think that if I restart my computer before my shows, I think I can probably avoid the static for the most part. If you are watching on Facebook, Twitter, or on one of my backup YouTube channels, come on over to my main channel to watch the rest of the show. Search for Donovan Sharpe on YouTube, and the first channel you see with my face as the logo is the channel you should come to and subscribe to. Again, if you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or one of my backup YouTube channels, come to my main YouTube channel to watch the rest of this episode. Let's check the chat one last time before we continue on here. Let's see. MT2 is in the house. Haven't seen you here in a while. I know there's a big time time difference. To watch or listen to the rest of this episode, go to DonovanSharpe.com. Thanks for watching.